Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys, as well as you ladies, for being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys and you ladies, this literally does not work. Hit the subscribe button for me. Help a brother out. We're close to 37,000 subscribers. That just blows my mind away. I cannot wait to get to hopefully 40. If I'm blessed to make it that far and live that long, it would be incredible. When we get to that point, we're going to have a big party. We're going to have a party. We're going to give away all kinds of stuff. And then, in fact, when we get to 37, we'll give away a Joe Barty to one of you great fans out there. So hit the subscribe button. And I hope you're having a great Memorial Day. You know, while you're out there stuffing your face, don't forget about the ones that are no longer here with us, the reason why we actually have this holiday. So I wake up this morning, you know, God bless you. Thank you for letting me wake up this morning. And the first thing I see is the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it appears that the circus has come to town with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer, I guess he realizes the thing that he's there to do is to sell tickets. You bring in Tim Tebow, a guy who hasn't played in 8 years, and you're getting more publicity from Tim Tebow than your number one draft pick, Trevor Lawrence. You know what they say? There's no such thing as bad publicity. So last night, you know, Michael, I think was, and I'm going to check with Michael later on if he was watching this. I don't know. I'm not a big wrestling guy. But I know Michael was doing a live stream last night. And I don't know if this was the wrestling he was watching, but this took place there. That's an old-ass laptop there. That's look at that. That's an old one. Come on, man. We know that's a prop. You know, I hate to say this. I almost hate to say this. But are we looking at the future of football? Well, it turns into more like professional wrestling. I know wrestling is real. It kind of makes you wonder. All right, with that being said, let's get on to the subject at hand. You know, when you ended the season last year, we were disappointed in our linebacker play. We worried about Van Der Esch being able to stay healthy. You know, we've known about him having neck problems from college and so on, having had neck surgery and things. We had Jalen Smith, who had a credible year, his third year, and we thought that we all of a sudden had the dynamic duo. We had the Wolf Hunter and the Predator, and that these guys were going to be great and light up the league. But you looked at that, and it was just not good at the end of last year. And then you lost Joe Thomas on top of it. And it seemed like every time we lost a linebacker and they ended up going to Kansas City, they were in the Super Bowl. And it was just like, was it something the Cowboys were doing, or was it just, I just don't know. It was just crazy. But now, all of a sudden, you look at linebacker, maybe the most competitive position on the Dallas Cowboys. Seriously. The Dallas Cowboys linebacking core, which when we went in the offseason at first, and I'm looking at, you know, Leighton Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith and saying we've got no depth and we're not sure if we're going to be able to have these guys throughout the season with Van Der Esch's, you know, injury history, the amount of games he's missed. And, you know, is Jalen Smith the guy, you know, is Jalen Smith at the right position? Is he better on a weak side, you know, chasing down plays? Should he be a strong side linebacker? Should he be the Mike linebacker? You know, you know, in trying to figure that out. And that's for Dan Quinn to figure out how to make this soup. Well, enter, of course, drafting Micah Parsons. And boy, oh my God, Have I gotten so much grief? Guys, it doesn't matter if I get it right today. It has no bearing on tomorrow. It will still be messed up. It's just, sometimes I say Micah. It's one of the learning disabilities that I have. And you can yell at me and tell me how stupid I am or how lazy I am. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change that. It's just one of those defects that I have. Okay? Understand, if I say Mika or Micah Parsons, you know who I'm talking about. Just understand, Mark's got a little mental illness, little problem, where it just goes. He thinks he said it right, but it doesn't, and it just can't be fixed. I feel bad for you, and just move on. Just do that. But to go through it constantly, you could never work for ESPN. Who said I wanted to work for ESPN? I can't read a script. I can't pronounce names when I read it. Just sound it out phonetically. That doesn't help. So just understand, if you're going to be here, I'm going to make mistakes. Lots of them. Lots of them. We drafted Micah Parsons and Jabril Cox. And we also bring in Keanu Neal, who was a safety, a number one, a first-round draft pick safety, who, by the way, was a Pro Bowler in 2017 before tearing his ACL. But he's been a really good safety. Now, the different thing is this. He's 6'1" and about 216 pounds. That's actually kind of thin, but he's fast. And see, playing safety is kind of a hybrid. Playing safety is almost like between being a linebacker and a cornerback. You're not playing that man-to-man coverage so much where you've got to be just out and out fast. Whereas a linebacker is, again, not really good at covering, but has to take on those run blocks and tackles and that line of defense. And that's kind of what a safety is. You're really kind of a tweener between a linebacker and a cornerback. The Cowboys are trying to take this a step further and create more of a hybrid position where we're taking a safety because of their skills of open field tackles and their speed enough to cover and making him a linebacker on the weak side. Because typically the weak side linebacker, okay, strong side being where there's more men to the right or the left of the center. That's the strong side. The weak side typically is doing a lot of chasing or covering guys in the slot. And we know that when we had Jalen Smith as a weak side linebacker, covering guys is not his strong suit. Hence, you have a Keanu Neal who's going to be playing weak side linebacker. Now, he's not completely new to playing linebacker. He always says, hey, I was a linebacker at heart. I played linebacker in high school. And so you see him here in practice, and I love watching practice tape. I love watching practice tape. You see him here at the weak side linebacker, and you start thinking about the way football has evolved. If you're looking at trying to slow down the Dallas Cowboys offense, you have to have linebackers that can cover because you have so many different weapons. You've got, of course, Amari Cooper. Okay, you got to put your number one on him. You've got, of course, Michael Gallup on the outside. You're going to need one-on-one coverage on him with somebody who's really good because he can take it to the house. But in that slot where you've all of a sudden got a CeeDee Lamb, you're going to need to have people that can cover. You're going to need a slot corner. You're also sometimes going to be relying on that weak side linebacker to possibly have to cover that slot guy or tight end. And tight ends have become almost the new wide receiver. So you look at it from the standpoint of saying that you need these guys on the weak side that are almost like a cornerback. And this is where the Dallas Cowboys defense is evolving with this. They're understanding that. Now, the question is, I'm actually going to ask the question of when you look at Keanu, who's definitely going to be a better cover linebacker in the slot. than probably any of the other guys that we have. I'm just saying. I'm assuming that because of having the experience of being a Pro Bowl safety, he's going to be a guy that's going to be good at the run support. You know, when you got to do the run stopping, he's going to be able to move well in space and hopefully cover better than where we had before, which is great. And I don't know if he's going to be penciled in as a starter there or not. Then you start thinking about Micah Parsons. Okay, Micah. See right there. It's not done intentionally. It's just, it was there. Micah. And then my brain thinks I said it correctly. Micah. It just happens. Micah Parsons, you don't spend a number 1 draft pick for a guy to sit on the bench. So now you start looking and saying, boom, he's a middle linebacker. So now, who's going to be the starting strong side? We still have our 2 big holdovers, Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith. Oh, also, too, we have Jabril Cox. Now, this is a good problem to have, that you've got depth of players that can go in here. But there's competition at linebacking. And to me, competition brings out the best in players, or will bring out the best players out on the field. We all know, listen, let's be real here. When you know you're the starter, do you really have to work that hard? When you know you got the big payday, when you know that, you know, the man upstairs, he ain't tripping, so I'm not tripping. Do you work as hard? Do you worry about losing your spot? I've been one that always believes you need to be a little bit on the edge and worried about keeping your job. Because if you're worried about keeping your job or worried about getting the job, you put in more work. You put in more effort. If you don't feel like you're the guy and you want to be the guy, you'll move heaven and earth to become that guy. And that's what I hope happens, that we go to training camp between Keanu Neal, between Van Der Esch, between Jalen Smith, between Jabril Cox, between Jalen Smith, that these guys are having a battle royale to become the leader of this defense and to be one of the guys out there representing America's team. And I couldn't be more excited about this 100%, because what I honestly believe is going to happen, I think the slice of humble pie for Jalen Smith, who after having the season that we had where he said the defense was too complex, you know, or look at the film, people who know I'm good. I think this slice of humble pie of seeing all these other players around you should maybe refocus him and make him hungry again. We'll have to wait and see, but you have to feel good about where the Dallas Cowboys are at linebacker. All right, y'all. I got some things I need to do today. I'm going to see if I can get this TV stand put together and see if I can get it over to my friend Richard's house today. And I'm going to go by and put some flowers on my brother's grave and remember the really good things about my brother and stuff today. And it looks like the rain has disappeared. The cicadas are back out making noise, but I think I'm going to try and sit outside and just enjoy some of the day. I'm Mark Holmes, and be safe out there, because there's a lot of crazies driving the road, and I've seen too many accidents the last couple of days. So be safe and get home alive. You know what time it is.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.